Welcome to Comics Expertise. Today I will be telling you all about Marauders, written by Gerry, Duggan, and illustrated by Matteo, Lolli. So, just to get this out the way, this comic was awesome. Art, story, action, everything. It was ridiculously good. So as the comic begins, Pyro is holding his own against Hatemonger and Executioner, while Kitty Pryde gets Iceman out of the way below decks as he's still stunned from being knocked over the head. She leaves Lockheed to protect him while she rejoins the fight, doing so just in time to get Pyro out of a chokehold by Hatemonger. She stabs Hatemonger in the back, meanwhile Executioner goes to stab her, but she phases through it, and Executioner winds up stabbing Pyro in the chest instead. So you come to realize that as he stabbed Pyro in the chest with whatever that weapon is, he actually injected Yellow Jacket into Pyro, and we see Hominis Verendi now have Yellow Jacket on the inside of Pyro as surveillance, as a spy, bragging about how they plan to sell the footage that they're going to get from Krakoa to governments all over the world and keep the juiciest details all to themselves. We briefly see Storm giving Shinobi Shaw first aid as she says that they need to get the kids and Shinobi onto the Marauder because they have a secret Krakoan gate on the Marauder, which I don't know why they didn't use that in the very first issue of Marauders when they needed to get the injured Colossus from Russia to Krakoa, but whatever. So while Kitty Pryde is facing off against Executioner and Hatemonger, she tells the Hatemonger, "Don't let what I'm about to do go to your head," and then she boards the enemy ship. And on the enemy ship is Chen Zhao and Donald Pierce. So if you don't know who Donald Pierce is, he was a member and I think the leader of the Reavers back when the X-Men were headquartered in Australia, and that was just a group of cyborgs who hunted down mutants. So Donald Pierce and Chen Zhao tried to play the card that they're on a diplomatic mission for Madripoor and that they have diplomatic immunity. And Kitty Pryde, she ain't trying to hear that. She punches Chen Zhao straight in the jaw, and Donald Pierce talks a whole bunch of smack when Storm shows up and she says, "What do we need to do to this small man?" Donald Pierce's response is, "Must be nice, Pryde, to be protected by so many powerful mutants." So Hatemonger interrupts the fight as he throws a bag full of grenades toward Kitty, but Bishop intercepts and he absorbs all the damage from the grenades and throws Executioner and Hatemonger off the ship. So Storm throws Donald Pierce off the ship, and last but not least, Chen Zhao gets thrown off the ship by Kitty Pryde. So now they have the Marauder and the enemy ship being full of the power dampening armor that we saw in Russia and the previous issue of Marauders. Storm tells Iceman to accompany Kate while she sails the enemy ship to Island M, Magneto's island, so that Forge, Sage, and Beast can examine the enemy mutant dampening tech. Storm dropping the info that the enemy mutant power dampening tech is based on Forge's old tech. And for anyone who didn't know, Forge was responsible for creating anti-mutant tech that took away Storm's powers a long time ago. And now that I think about it, that's probably why she had such an extreme reaction last issue when she stabbed that dude in the eye. She was probably having flashbacks to having her powers taken away for years in the comics. So her extreme reaction, in hindsight, seems a little more justified. So Kitty Pryde says she doesn't need Iceman to escort her and that they should just split up. She'll take the enemy cargo to Island M. So I guess Donald Pierce saying that she needs to be protected by so many Omega level mutants earlier really got into her head. So later we see the stars out, it's nighttime, and we see one of the power dampening armors open up and Sebastian Shaw comes out of it. He sneaks up on Kitty Pryde and Lockheed and immediately restrains Lockheed with a net from some gun he was carrying. So he tells Kitty, "I brought some Krakoan seeds I think you'll find interesting," and Kitty Pryde just says, "Of course you're caught up in this. You're gonna end up sleeping next to Sabretooth," which would be hilarious to see. But anyway, Sebastian Shaw says, "I doubt that," and he throws some Krakoan fast-growing vine seed pods at Kitty. Now the interesting thing here to see is that Kitty Pryde for some reason can't phase through these vines as they restrain her. So this is either a plot hole, or I'm just gonna go with it and say that because the Vines are part of Krakoa, and Krakoa has been shown to feed on mutant energy. That's why she can't phase through it, but whatever. So Sebastian Shaw grabs Lockheed and immediately throws him overboard to drown. Mind you, Lockheed is in a net, so he can't swim. And for those who don't know, Kitty Pryde and Lockheed go together like peanut butter and jelly. They are inseparable. Like, ever since they were introduced to each other, they were damn near joined at the hip. So, knowing that, as soon as she sees Lockheed go overboard, she just screams, no. And her face right here, like, the art was beautiful. It caught me in the feels, yo. So, she just tells Shaw, I give up. I'll give you my council seat. Save Lockheed. And Shaw, he's got no heart, because he's just like, nah, I got some place to be in. So do you. So he blows the cargo hold, I believe, of the ship that Kitty's on. And Kitty's like, yo, they'll bring me back. And Shaw is just like, whatever quirk of your powers that stops you from using the portals likely keeps you out of the resurrection protocols. Why else would your friends be guarding you like precious treasure? So as far as I'm concerned, he's making a big assumption here, because all you need to resurrect somebody is the 5. Their DNA, they have Kitty's DNA presumably, and a copy of that person's mind. They presumably have a copy of Kitty's mind. So this process doesn't just work on mutants like the Gates. It's not mutant exclusive. You can do this to a human, you can do this to an inhuman, you can do this to a deviant. As long as you have those 3 things, the copy of their mind, the 5, and their DNA, you can resurrect anybody. But whatever. So just, I guess you gotta go with it, that she can't be resurrected. So Sebastian Shaw, as Kitty's sinking, he reveals to her that he actually put the idea in her head that she was being protected by Omega level mutants, and he relied on her pride to have her send Storm and Iceman away. And not only that, he has plausible deniability because he didn't want to make the trip to Madripoor, but Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde outvoted him and made him take the trip to Madripoor, made Shinobi take the trip to Madripoor anyway, and he was counting on that. So he was literally pretending to be mad when they outvoted him. So Kitty Pryde, she swears bloody vengeance right up until the point where she goes under the water, and we apparently see her drown because we see her hold her breath, we see her exhale with her eyes wide, and apparently she's dead unless she immediately gets rescued somehow in the next issue. But Sebastian Shaw, his answer to Kitty Pryde saying she'll come back if only just to kill him, he's like, yeah, not today. And you just see him smug as all hell. And that's the end of the comic. So yeah, this comic was freaking awesome, man. I loved it. From beginning to end, Gerry Duggan and Matteo Lolli, they both brought all their expertise to bear. And, yeah, I can't wait to see what happens with the mutant dampening tech when Forge realizes that it's based on his design. I can't wait to see a little more of Island M, Magneto's little private island. And I can't wait to see if Kitty Pryde can come back from the dead, because like I said, there's no reason that she shouldn't be able to. Now, granted, even if she does come back from the dead, she shouldn't remember how she died. Those memories shouldn't be part of her most recent upload. So even if she comes back, she won't know that Sebastian Shaw was the one who killed her. But Lockheed, though, yeah, now that I think about it, they definitely are not going to kill Kitty Pryde right now. I guarantee she's gonna get rescued next issue, because if she doesn't, that means that Lockheed also dies. So if anything, I say that Lockheed gets free. He rescues Kitty Pryde from the vines that are entangling her, and then they're just stranded in the middle of the ocean. But yeah, if you guys like the video, like, share, subscribe, comment. I especially love comments because not only does it increase engagement on my channel and help me get higher in search results, but I like actually talking to the people that watch my videos. So do that. Bye. Alright, so as I was editing this, I just realized I forgot to mention the best page in this whole book, which was actually a white page, which most people would be surprised about. But Yellow Jacket, he's looking through Pyro's eyes, and we see a white page detailing what he's saying is Pyro and Bishop are doing a security sweep of the Marauder ship. So Pyro finds an all-white wardrobe that is obviously belonging to Emma Frost. So Yellow Jacket just sees, oh, is a white wardrobe, business suits, and casual wear. So Pyro is literally snooping around Emma Frost's lingerie closet, and that's just fucking hilarious. So Yellow Jacket, he sees Pyro go to a heavily fortified door, and he's like, okay, now we're getting to the good stuff. Behind this door is probably some of the ship's secrets. And instead of being the good stuff, he just sees Pyro go into a hair and nail salon on this warship. Not only that, this warship has a movie theater. So after Pyro and Bishop go through the security sweep of the ship, they stop in this movie theater to watch Rick and Morty. Oh man, this is fucking hilarious. But anyway, I can't believe that I forgot to mention that while I was recording. Now, this is the end of the video. See you guys later.